Ugh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Popcorn and Coffee Table Talk. This is where we talk not around a table, but on YouTube.
Just
Host Jesse, co-host Jehaziel.
what's up?
Going, bud?
Oh, what a week it's been.
What a wonderful world.
And
That's
you know,
what
we've
I
been
think myself anyway.
without a consistent Book of Boba Fett ended, so then we kind of just doing some hit or miss stuff in
I
between.
know.
But next week, Moon
I'm
Knight
so
comes out.
excited. I'm
I
so
know.
excited.
Yeah, me too.
It looks
What?
like it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, I am pretty stoked. I don't know much about the character either, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
I think.
I only know very little, but yeah, I'm excited. And then we got Obi-Wan, which I'm also looking forward to. There's just something about watching these series that are pretty enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
What? I did have one question though.
what's that?
About it, it's related to Moon Knight. Why was Oscar Isaac wearing a skirt?
I'm pretty sure one of the characters is like Irish. I want to say one of the Moon Knight characters, one of the Moon Knights,
Okay.
one of the Crested Moons.
Okay.
Maybe it was in homage. I don't know.
So we're gonna have to start calling him Oscar Irish.
Oscar Kilt.
Okay.
He worked it. That man can work anything. He can put on a dress and work it.
No. No man should put on a dress.
That mm,
If it's a kilt he was wearing, that's one thing, but they called it a skirt.
it said skirt.
That yeah, the article I read said skirt. They didn't say
That
kilt.
was a kilt.
I thought when I saw it, I was like, oh, that looks more like a kilt. But the article referred to it as a skirt.
I'm gonna look.
So I'm just saying, I don't know. I thought
Oscar.
it was weird.
Oops. Kilt. I'm gonna just type it in kilt. I can't decide if I'm more obsessed with Oscar Isaac's kilt or brazen Hawaiian shirt on Marvel red carpets. Yeah, he's wearing a kilt. Why? I don't know.
Maybe he's Irish. I don't know.
Maybe he is.
I mean, it was St. Patty's Day this past week or last week. So, which, by the way, if you have not checked out our review of Once, head over to YouTube and check it out.
Yes. Please do. Support. Like and subscribe. That's one thing I noticed that we never say.
I know.
YouTuber ever always says it. So right now on the bottom screen, you're going to see a little emoji of like click, click, click. No, you're not, because I don't know how to do that, but do it anyway. Click.
If you can find our YouTube channel, you can like it and subscribe to it.
Yes, but you can't. Never mind. We have Morbius coming out
next weekend.
April 1st.
Next weekend.
No joke. And so we figured, keeping with the vampire motif of that, we decided to watch 1987's Joel Schumacher's The Lost Boys.
Yes. And boy, were they lost.
Joel Schumacher died in 2020.
Did he really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
COVID?
I didn't see. I don't know.
Oh.
I didn't read. I didn't ask.
Yes.
Didn't ask.
I'm glad.
But I mean, that guy's done quite a few movies, you know, from Batman Forever. He did A Time to Kill with Matthew McConaughey, which was a good movie. 8mm with Nicolas Cage. Those are just to name a couple. But just wanted to say off the bat before we get too much into it, there's a lot of Batman Forever in this movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of undertones of Batman Forever here.
I thought he did Batman and Robin.
Maybe he might have done both.
I think he did Batman and Robin. What I looked up.
Don't make a fool out of me. Not Batman Forever?
Not Batman Forever. I'm pretty sure he did Batman and Robin.
All right, well, what do I get if I'm right? What are we doing?
What do you mean? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
If you're right, I will. What you're wrong, I can already see. Um,
I'm wrong.
yeah, it's Batman and Robin. He did.
He did both then.
No,
So
he didn't.
I'm looking at it. Batman Forever, director Joel Schumacher.
Oh, okay, fine. He did both. Batman Forever doesn't pop up in his first 4 movies, so he didn't do it in my book. Just
Well, he didn't do it in the first 4 movies because it didn't come out until 1995. Scroll up a little bit.
well, the first. Never mind. Never mind. It's not worth the fight.
It's totally worth the fight, James Seal. Comedy, horror, rated R, came out on July 31st. These are just some fun facts about the Lost Boys.
Yeah, starring Jason Patric, Corey Haim, Diane West, Bernard Hughes, Edward Herman, Kiefer Sutherland, Jamie Gertz, Corey Feldman. Yeah, got a decent little cast there.
What would you say this movie is about?
This movie is about a mother and her 2 boys who move to her hometown and find out that it is infested with vampires that are killing people. At that point, the older brother turns into a vampire, and the younger brother and some friends seek out to save him and destroy the head vampire.
Is it really a town full of vampires though, or are there just like 6 vampires?
I mean, just okay. I guess it's not full. I guess if you mean everyone in the town would be a vampire, that would make it full of vampires. But it is it's a town of vampires.
What I'm gonna read you a sentence here. Tell me how you feel this best encapsulates, if it encapsulates the movie or not. Sleep all day, party all night, never grow old, never die. It's fun to be a vampire.
Sleep all day, party all night. Yeah, that's it. Never grow old. Most of the people that were the vampires in the show are already young, so we don't really know their age, I guess. And the head vampire is old, so
And they all die.
yeah. Yeah. Well, not all of them, but
well, all the full bloods. So the movie starts out, and let's just get it out of the way now.
Yeah.
What did you think of the movie?
Okay. I honestly 100% enjoyed this film.
Oh gosh, not what I expected.
No,
not what I expected.
I went into it with like the first 10 minutes. I'm just like, why am I watching this? I do not want to watch this. And then after the first 10 minutes of the movie and the mother and her sons kind of come into it and they come into the town, I'm like, okay, this is fun. And then you get Corey Feldman coming on screen and that whole, I'm like, all right, this is an 80s movie. This is like it reminded me of just that fun 80s, like Stand By Me, The Sandlot, all those films that where the young kids are trying to save the town, or just whatever.
Yeah.
And I had fun with it. I did enjoy it. I was shocked.
I don't like this movie. There's elements of it that I like, but the movie as a whole, I'm just not a fan of. It's too loud. It's abrasive. The musical tones don't make sense, and they're putting weird. And I get it. It's the 80s, and that's what it is. But I just think I saw this movie at the wrong point in my life. Vera loves this movie, but she saw it when she was real young, so she has a love and a fondness for it, which I completely get. I completely understand. But for me, I'm just like, what little bit of a story there is in this movie is just not enough to hook me. Not that I didn't enjoy it. I did.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's better vampire movies out there.
Yeah, it's got a lot of and I'm a sucker for 80s movies, so that's like it. I fall into that category, kind of like I like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I like, who doesn't like The Breakfast Club? Yeah. But so it's got a lot of those 80s tropes and stuff in it throughout the film. And I thought the score was cool. I like the way it sounded, like the sound and stuff, the soundtrack. I was enjoying it. Like,
I like
huh?
the music, but it
Yeah.
was more the score, and it's just like it's a very abrasive score. That's what I just don't like about it.
Yeah.
But I can understand why you do. So it's not a I'll let this one go. It surprises me that you like it. Honestly, it does. But and it's a weird town. It's a weird town, and apparently everybody knows there's vampires there.
Yeah.
Why does everybody live there if they know there's vampires there?
Well, it's not not everybody knows there's vampires. It's more of a, I think it's more of a running gag in the town. Like, it's a joke that, oh, there's vampires here.
But people
the
are dying.
Right. Well, people are going missing. They're not finding the bodies.
It's true.
No one ever has signs of this person died. There's missing posters everywhere.
Yeah.
The only people that I think actually know there are vampires in this town is Corey Feldman's character and his buddy.
Yeah.
Are the only two that are like 100% convinced.
I don't know. The grandpa at the end was like,
yeah,
I hate this town. I hate the vampires in this town. I mean, I don't think he was being like silly. His house was destroyed. He obviously knew there were vampires, and he didn't like going to town. He wanted to stay. I'm like, why are you living there? You know, there's vampires here.
Because it's his town.
That's so funny that you like it. That's just blows my mind. And I just can't get behind. It's so lazy. And it's an 80s movie. It's an 80s movie in a very specific genre. And those kind of movies were lazy. You know, like Fright Night is a very lazy movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. So
it's vampires again. But it's just like, why did the older brother just do everything that Kiefer Sutherland told him to do?
Oh, like before he became a vampire?
Yeah. It's just like, why? To me, the movie didn't explain why. I'm assuming that it's because he's a vampire. Certain lores of vampires are like they can impress people to do things. Like he was like, oh, look, that's maggots in your thing, or that's worms. And he was seeing that. Yeah. I'm assuming he was impressing him to then drink the blood, which made him a vampire, which I also hate because that's not how you become a vampire.
Yeah.
But whatever. It doesn't get fun for me until after he's turned. And then, like you said, the rest of the movie's fine. I enjoy everything with the Frog Brothers and them like going and stealing holy water from the Catholic Church and all. Like, I think that's a lot of fun. But it's just
I think one of the reasons that he followed Kiefer Sutherland's character was two things. We didn't grow up in the 80s, and two, we also didn't go to public school. We were also homeschooled. So the whole peer pressure thing, I don't think we had to deal with as much at that age.
You think that's what it was?
Yeah, I honestly do. One, he was trying to impress the girl because he wanted the girl.
Okay.
And two, huh?
He was telling him not to do it.
Yeah. But two, I think he didn't want to look stupid either in front of this. He's in a new town trying to, make a name for himself. So I think that was part of it. It could have been the whole vampire side of things just as well. The only scene that took me out, and I was just like, what are we watching? What am I watching here? Was when it's at the beginning and they're at that concert and that guy is like singing. I'm just like, what is this? Like, why does he not have a shirt on? Why is he all sweaty?
Why is he playing a saxophone?
Yeah. Like, is this Kenny G?
I just don't know what they were trying to go for. And then I was like, that's when I turned to Bear and I was like, this is just Joel Schumacher. This is Batman and Robin. This is Batman Forever. That's why is it in there? I don't know, because he just wanted it and he's weird.
Yeah. And it's the 80s, and the 80s were all about, it's another one of them. I don't know if you'd consider this a coming of age movie, but that's it. Got to have something sexual in it. That's what the 80s did. So,
and it's rather clean compared to.
Oh yeah, no, really not nothing that I can remember.
I mean, well, there was the one scene, and this was another thing that kind of took me out of it because he obviously sleeps with the girl that he's into. Mm-hmm. He doesn't show anything, but he just got turned into a vampire and he goes there and he's looking for answers. He's like, all right, I guess I'm just going to go do this instead. And it's just like, I don't understand the logic of what you're doing at all. whatever that main character's name was, I forgot already.
He's a teenage boy. What's like?
He's turning into a vampire. Like the bloodlust, the everything that goes into vampirism, vampirialism. Imperialism.
I love. There's something about Corey Feldman though when he was younger, and he's so intense, like when in all of his movies.
Yes.
It's just like, dude, it cracks me up. It does.
He plays the same character and everything. And that character's just like you said, smoldering intensity of,
yeah,
I have to do whatever I'm doing 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's that way in Stand By Me, this, and when he's older, he's in The Burbs with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
And he's a teenager and he's the same way. He's just like, I don't know. He was a funny kid.
What did you think of the Lost Boys themselves, the vampires?
They honestly were probably my least favorite part of the whole show. I think they could have done without them. Kiefer Sutherland looks super weird.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you like until he turns into and actually shows the vampire where he looks normal. Before that, he's just, I don't know. It creeps me out. Creeps me out.
And you could have easily used those characters to turn him and then never seen them again.
Yeah.
And just use the head vampire for the rest of the movie. Like a hunt for the lead vampire or whoever the master vampire is.
Yeah.
Because they're irrelevant and they die irrelevantly.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. Do you think if they made 24 into a vampire movie, they would have to change it to like 8 hours? Because Kiefer could only work at night.
Clever. It would at least be 9 hours.
9 hours?
From dusk till dawn, they'd call it.
Yeah. And he's got to save the president. And then he's only got.
Now we're just remaking Blade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which is what we probably should have watched leading into Morbius.
No, I only thought about that after watching The Lost Boys.
Granted, and I did. I love the movie. I enjoyed it. But we probably should have watched Blade.
That's okay. We watched something vampire.
Yes.
What'd you think of the head vampire? Did you see it coming?
No. Okay, so that was the thing. Threw me off guard. I thought when the boys thought he was, and they fed him the garlic and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, he's not a vampire. Like, obviously, he passed all their tests, so no, he's not the head vampire. So at the end, when everyone died and they were like, well, who's the head vampire? I thought it was going to be Star, the girl.
Oh. You know what's interesting, though? And I'm going to nitpick it because I didn't like the movie. I'm a huge fan of vampire movies and vampire lore. I like all of that. But in the movie, in the first time he comes to the house to have dinner with them, he's invited in. So he comes in. Some versions of vampire lore, like that's a thing. Others that isn't.
Mm-hmm.
That they have to be invited in a house to enter that house. They can't cross the threshold. So he's invited in. He goes in. Once he's in, apparently all things that kill vampires are irrelevant because he was invited into the home. At no point were any of the other vampires invited into that house. Yet for that final fight, they were all in the house.
Right. Yeah.
If you're following that logic, not a single one of them should have been able to go in.
Yeah.
At all. They would have just been hooting and hollering on the outside, but not able to get inside.
Well, did they not get invited in? Because they were at one point, remember earlier in the film, they were just kind of like, they were seeing the lights outside and they were like yelling and stuff early on in the movie when the brother first becomes the vampire. And I'm trying to think, at one point, did they get invited in to the house?
I don't think so. I don't think
because the boys had booby trapped the whole house.
Oh, I know.
They had the holy water in the bathtub with the onions or the garlic.
Yeah. But But if you follow that logic, they shouldn't have been able to cross the threshold at all.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know.
They had to fight in that house. They had to kill all of them. That's what had to happen.
Yeah.
Which
I don't know why they didn't just take the holy water to the cave and spray them with it.
Because that would have ended the movie 20 minutes too soon. And we needed Kiefer Sutherland to look real nasty with those feet dangling from the.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
What do you think of the vampire prosthetics when they turned, especially the old guy at the end?
Yeah, I mean,
Was
for
like, what are you
for
doing?
the era it was in and stuff, I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, I
Remind
think
me
back
of the thing.
the what?
The thing.
Oh, the thing. Yeah. I mean, you think back to like American Werewolf in London in the 80s and that one. I mean, that was
Yeah. Same stuff.
Yeah.
I prefer real prosthetics, even if they don't look great, over
Yeah.
stuff 9 times out of 10 anyway.
Yeah.
I wish we get back to that. Especially nowadays when it's so much better than it ever was. You know, you can do things with real prosthetics that they never could.
Yeah. I think someone will eventually want to go back and make a movie and use like the old way at some point here in the near future. Everything goes back to the old way.
They always
Old
do.
ways.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, 10 years ago they made a silent picture because that won Oscars.
Because they ran out of ideas.
Yeah. So let's make a movie. Yeah. Anyways,
back on the topic. If you were gonna rate this, where would you put it out of 5 stars?
as a movie, I give it 3 stars as a movie, 3.5.
I say 2.
Um,
And that's it. I can easily sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
I just don't enjoy it. It's just not something I enjoy.
for my enjoyment, I'd probably give it 4 stars. So,
Do you think you could revisit it and still feel the same way?
I don't know. I'd have to give it a couple years because I was thinking about like other movies that this reminded me of, just from that era and the whole like same like Stand By Me. Like that's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I watch that probably once every year and a half, 2 years. I'll go back and revisit it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll probably if I come across it again later in a couple years and I'm like, oh, you know what, I want to watch that again. I might. We'll see. I don't know.
And keeping in mind that we watched this because Morbius is coming out. Where would you recommend watching Blade? Would you recommend Blade?
I would recommend watching Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh gosh. Yes, because they're directly linked. At least go watch Homecoming because
because Michael Keaton, or Batman 89.
Would you recommend this movie?
It's always a slippery slope for me to recommend a movie or not, because I don't want to. If you are under the age of 18, I don't know. If you're 17 or older, I would recommend it. Anything younger than that, I'd be like, nah.
You'd
probably
recommend
not.
this to anyone?
No, not anybody. I'm not going to recommend any movie to anybody.
Okay.
To everybody. Like, I won't recommend just one movie to everybody.
Obviously, this is going on YouTube, and we're putting this out there as a recommendation or not a recommendation to a general audience. Whoever watches our video, would you recommend it to them?
I don't know who watches our videos because they don't comment.
Go to bed, kids.
Probably no. To a general audience, I would not recommend it.
I wouldn't either. I think if you're looking for something that's classic with vampires, there's a plethora of other options. I don't think this is a must-see movie if you're into vampires or if you're into very specific 80s, the genre of 80s, yes. But if you're not, skip it. Yeah. This isn't a must-see for anyone.
Yeah, that's fair. I would agree with that statement.
So, anything else you want to say?
Yes, if you like what you hear, head over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review and comment. You can also listen to us on Google and Spotify. Head over to YouTube where this will be dropping. Like and subscribe, please, and leave us a comment. If you want to message us directly, head over to Instagram and DM us at Popcorn and Coffee.
Yes. If you want to see more, just click right here.
And here.
That's not going to go anywhere. I don't know how to do that. We're getting there.
Yep. It's a work in progress.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Yep. Bye.